All right, guys. So today I want to react to this. It actually was posted by Up and Adams show. Obviously, we all love Kay Adams, but she was talking to defense coordinator Lou Anarumo, and he said some interesting things about Joe Burrow. Let's get right into this.
And experience will help all these guys as we go forward.
Joe's in the building. Like, where's Joe right now?
It's so funny you asked that question. He's such a football junkie that he sat in on the he's sitting in on defensive meetings just to see how that stuff goes, and so he can pick up. He was in our third down install meeting this morning on defense. He's interacting with the players. Yeah, he's one of a kind, that's for sure.
That is, it's truly insane. Like, listen, okay, Joe is one of the best, right? And you expect him to want to learn as much as humanly possible to get better and better and better and better. I don't think Mahomes is sitting in on, meetings. And I'm not saying this as a shot at Mahomes. My point is, like, this just shows how scary it is in the future when this guy is healthy and back in 100%. How scary it is for the rest of the NFL because, Joe's so early in his career, right? He's obviously, 4 years now in his career. He has probably another 12. He's probably going to play till he's 36, 37, maybe up to 40 years old, especially with, medical science getting so much better as time is going on, that he could play longer and longer into later in his life. If all this years he has to not only learn how to get better, but also sitting in defensive meetings, learning what defenses are learning, and knowing what to, call and what to do, man, that's going to be scary. I mean, this guy's already been to the Super Bowl in his second year, back-to-back championships. Obviously, one of them was Super Bowl too, but still, though, just, yeah. That's the league. Better get ready for Joey B.
Is he a dream for Jake Browning? I know I saw him at practice sort of standing by him. Like, I can't imagine that even just the osmosis isn't a great thing.
I would imagine that that whatever Joe's giving him and seeing things from a different perspective, it can only help Jake. The coaches are great, but to have a guy that's has done it at such a high level, I mean, that's got to be a great resource for Jake.
I'll tell you one thing: we definitely need Joe to coach Jake moving forward for the rest of this season because after last week, the only real problem I had with Jake last week was he held on to the ball way too long. The guy was taking hits unnecessarily and taking sacks because he wouldn't throw the ball because he didn't want to throw an interception. And that's something that Joe's going to have to really work on with Jake is, hey, man, you're going to have to get the ball out of your hands. So, again, another week of practice, another, set of reps, going to help out a lot. And, he finally got his first true NFL start last week against a very good Steelers defense, don't get me wrong, but these are things that, Joe is going to have to help Jake learn. And again, I said many times, if we do keep Jake Browning as our quarterback for the rest of this season, which at this point it is very possible we do, this just signifies even more that, our mentality moving forward is Jake Browning is our future, right? He's our future backup quarterback. He's going to be kind of how Brandon Allen was, where we had him for forever. We're going to do this with, obviously, this guy now, and we're just going to kind of try to, mold him into a better quarterback. Now, of course, many rookie quarterbacks, when they come out of college, they sit behind, like, a Hall of Fame quarterback, and then they become very great themselves. I'm not saying in any way that, Jake Browning is a rookie. He's 25 years old. But he's kind of in that mentality here. Now he's finally starting. He got to sit behind Joe Burrow. And now he gets a chance to go out there and show how good he is. And again, after one game, doesn't tell the whole tale. We'll see how he does on Monday night versus Jacksonville.
Coach, you know Joe in a very special way. Like, you go up against him. Obviously, you see him around that building. He's sitting in your defensive meetings. That's absolutely bananas. What sort of has been the most impressive part, or what stood out to you about how he's handled this adversity? The wrist, then you had the other injuries, the calf, all of it.
He never another guy that really truly never flinches. You would never know. His look on his face is the same as getting ready to play the Rams in the Super Bowl, or he just got off surgery. He's sitting in his locker and we're having a conversation yesterday. He's always the same. I think it's a great trait to have, especially at his position, with all the stress and all the stuff that's on his shoulders. The guy never flinches. You'd never know that his heart was ticking at a rate that it is, I'm sure at certain points. I'm fascinated by him in that regard on how well he's able to handle these things that are thrown at him.
I think that's because Joe's not human, and I think we gotta have to just realize this and accept this. I mean, Joe does not understand emotions, and I think that's really what this comes down to. This man could be in the most pressured situation possible, in the most absolutely nail-biting situation possible, and this man can keep his composure better than anyone else I've ever seen in my life. He is just cool. He is as cool Joe as humanly possible. Like, that phrase was created before Joe Burrow was even born. And I feel like somehow, some way, someone went back in time with a time machine just to give it to Joe Burrow, because that is exactly what Joe is. I mean, again, you look at Joe Montana, obviously, yes, he did beat us in the Super Bowl, but that was literally how Joe played Joe Montana, the guy that Joe Burrow idolized growing up. So it's like the same concept. It's just that mentality of like, they're so chill, relaxed, no moment is too big for them, because they can always relax and just keep the game flowing. Many quarterbacks, I say almost all quarterbacks, can't do that. They all fail at doing that because, again, it's very tough to do that, and only a select few who are that amazing can actually do that.
Does he talk in the defensive meeting, or does he just sit in the corner?
No, I asked him a question. He responded today very well, and he made it very profound. Like, hey, I would do this against that, and I didn't expect anything else from him. He was terrific this morning.
Take that.
As long as he's not talking about jumping out of planes, I'm good. As long as he's not talking about jumping out of planes again, I'm good. That Jamar Chase take was absolutely out of this world, man, about Joe saying he's going to jump out of a plane. I have a video on the channel if you have not seen that, but...
At Trevor Lawrence, see you Monday night. Big game in Jacksonville. It really is a big game. It's Monday Night Football. Big spot for you, of course, because you're really going to have to shoulder, the loss of Joe Burrow and do your thing out there, which you will. This Jags team has not played on Monday Night Football since 2020.
Yeah, that's another thing. They haven't played Monday Night Football in a very, very long time. So, again, listen, this game is, in all intents and purposes, it's a trap game for the Jags. You know, they're 8-3, we're 5-6. We have our backup quarterback in. We're coming off an awful loss to the Steelers. You know, we are the trap team at this point, which is always the good thing to be. Like, you want to, in a trap game, you want to be that team that's a trap team, because chances are that means that you have you're going to win in the end. Now, again, like I said, if we win this game, it just continues this, potential playoff spot. And I know you might say, like, oh, we get to the playoffs, we can go one and done, and that's it. We'll see, man. Nick Foles led the Eagles to a Super Bowl, and no one thought that would ever happen. And he won it against Tom Brady. Tom Brady still didn't shake his hand. I'll see you guys in the next one.